The tragic capitulation of Pilate. Trembling with fearful emotion, Pilate sat down next to Jesus and asked him, "Where do you come from? Who are you really? What does it mean that they say, 'You are the Son of God'?" But Jesus found it difficult to answer these questions, as they were posed by a judge who was afraid of the people, weak and indecisive, and moreover unjust because he had allowed him to be scourged after first finding him innocent. Jesus looked Pilate straight in the eye, but gave him no answer. Then Pilate said, "Do you refuse to speak to me? Don't you realize that I still have the power to release you or to have you crucified?" Then Jesus spoke, "You would have no power over me if it were not given to you from above. You cannot exercise authority over the Son of Man unless the Father in heaven allows it. However, you are not as guilty because you are ignorant of the gospel. The one who betrayed me and those who handed me over to you, they commit the greatest sin." This final exchange with Jesus greatly frightened Pilate. His moral cowardice was now weighed down by the double burden of his superstitious fear of Jesus and his deadly fear of the Jewish leaders. Pilate went outside and addressed the accusers, saying, "I am convinced that this man has only committed religious offenses. Take him away and condemn him according to your own laws. How can you expect me to agree to his death? Just because he acted against your traditions?" Pilate was on the verge of releasing Jesus, but then the high priest Caiaphas intervened. He was still at the top of the steps near Pilate. He walked intimidatingly toward the Roman judge until he was standing right next to him. He pointed his finger vindictively toward Pilate's face, and in an indignant tone, in the hearing of all the people, he shouted, "If you release this man, we will accuse you before the emperor, and I will make sure the emperor hears everything." This open threat was too much for Pilate. Fear for his personal status now overshadowed all other considerations, and the governor ordered Jesus to be brought outside before his judgment seat. When the bloodied Jesus stood there before them, Pilate pointed to him and said mockingly, "Behold your king." And the Jews replied, "Away with him. Crucify him." Then Pilate said with much irony, "Shall I crucify your king?" And the Jews replied, "Yes, crucify him. We have no king except the emperor." Then Pilate realized that there was no hope of saving Jesus, for he was not willing to defy the Jews. There stood now the Son of God, the creator of them all, in the body of a man. He had been arrested without charge, accused without evidence, condemned without witnesses, scourged without legal grounds, and now he was about to be sentenced to death by an unjust judge who admitted that he could find no guilt in him. If Pilate had thought to appeal to their patriotism by calling Jesus King of the Jews, that had been a complete failure. The Jews did not expect such a king. The open declaration of the people, "We have no king except the emperor," was a cowardly lie because they detested the Roman yoke. Pilate was afraid of unrest and revolt. He did not dare to risk such a disturbance in Jerusalem during the Passover. He had recently received a reprimand from the emperor and did not want to risk that again. The people cheered when he ordered Barabbas to be released. Then he had a bowl of water brought, and in the sight of the accusers and the people, he symbolically washed his hands and said, "I am innocent of the blood of this man. You are determined that he must die, but I have found no guilt in him. It is now your responsibility. The soldiers will take him away.